Cecilia Abunadapa, well done. Well done. I thought you were a woman and a mother who had compassion. They said, give a position to a woman and she'll do far better than a man. But these days, what do we see? It's sad. It's disheartening. Year in, year out, flood affects people in Accra. The Odo River gets flooded. Lives are destroyed. Properties are destroyed. You said you used $43 million to clean the Odo River. Have you seen what $43 million could do in Dubai, or in Europe, or in America? Shame unto you. It's so sad. It's so disheartening. We live in this country. People cannot even afford 1 meal a day. And some people out there who have very little are trying everything possible to reach out to those who don't have any. But you, the politicians, all you think about is grabbing. You have only one child, I was told. You have only one child and you are grabbing all these properties for only one child. How about those kids in our front plains, those kids at the north, those kids in the Volta region somewhere, those kids in remote villages in Ashanti region, in Central region, in every part of Ghana? Look, there was a kid I met in Sogakope. They are so poor that there are 3 siblings. Every morning, their meal is yesterday banku with raw pepper, no tomatoes, just pepper and salt, with no fish. The day I asked my mother to give them soup, it was like, you are bringing kids from the war zone who haven't eaten for a year. When they saw soup in a plate that day, oh, politicians are wicked in this country. You people cannot even afford to go to hospitals. I have a little charity. My colleagues from work and my friends, they help me with their little income, and we reach out to people in the remote parts of the Volta region. They have nothing, absolutely nothing to eat. You guys are just there amassing Ghana's wealth, misusing donors' funds. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? And today's Sunday, July 23rd, 2023, I believe most of you are in your churches praising God, thanking God for bringing Ghana down. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? It's so disheartening what you people are doing to Ghana. It's so sickening what you people are doing to Ghana. I go to the villages and I see kids who do not have anything to do, who do not have anything to eat. There are people who are sick. They can't go to hospitals. Even they go to the hospitals, they give them paracetamol. This national health insurance, you buy a loaf of bread in Kuala, you pay national health insurance. Yet, donors are putting money into this national health insurance, but you guys are just looting the money. People go to hospitals, you give them paracetamol. Why are you doing this to Ghana? Why? Why are you doing this to Ghana? Oh, don't you have heart? Don't you have compassion? Don't you have sympathy? Don't you have feelings for people? looking sad. And you guys should be ashamed of yourselves. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves.
NFM Radio. NFM Radio. Listen to Fire Will Burn You on NFM Radio with Mansa Musa, Monday to Saturday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
The Bank of Ghana committing to that project?
I don't have the figure offhand.
The figure for your headquarters?
I don't have a figure off my head, sir. That's what I'm saying.
$250 million. Are you committing $250 million to that project?
I don't have the full complement of the figures. Mr.
Randolph, you are the Director of Finance of the Bank of Ghana. This is a major project that will shake the balance book of every organization. You should have that figure of head. How much are you committing to your head office building? We know it is $250 million. Can you confirm that? The Bank of Ghana committing to that project?
I don't have the figure offhand, sir.
The figure for your headquarters?
I don't have a figure off my head, sir. That's what I'm saying.
$250 million. Are you committing $250 million to that project?
I don't have the full complement of the figures.
Mr. Randolph, you are the Director of Finance of the Bank of Ghana. This is a major project that will shake the balance book of every organization. You should have that figure of head. How much are you committing to your head office building? We know it is $250 million. Can you confirm that?
Manage 2 years. Says here the Fiora Bia 2 years. I wanted them. What's name? What's name 2 years? We are 2 years account. Says here, no, sir, then someone has a per se. Open single room. Says here, no, put that 600, put that 500, put that 700, 800. You're dying. Says here, agent for age 100 CDs for viewing fee, and I say 80 Ghana for viewing fee. Just show you the room. Says here, if you're a for beer, the Omodayam agent for Uchia 9,600. Also, Uchia agent 900, 600, and 900 and almost 1,000 CDs. Why? Says here, you to the end day. Why? Like why? What? Like why? Hey, like it's serious. Sir, Matsna demo 2 years. I'm paying 8,000. Now I'm supposed to pay 9,600. And you are taking the 2 years. You take 1 year and put. Because you see, me entered 6 months in 1 year. Says here, we hear Juma may fear. Boa no busumi pay the amount. Say 600 or say 700. You have to eat only small one a pay because a whole month I'm a pay. And see back on one by a day. Ume should be you. Ume should be you or my 1 penny for Munka once a machine. Youth for the air brenna ye kun anyhow. A direct in tea ye betting pontino. Ubacoma ye kun. Bobekoma ye kunti youth nti ye brand e dan sem e kuye adai how Ghana ye ble papa adai and the fear walking in and catch a person me patro me per diamond because of agent
agent viewing fees or do what said them or bet you 80 cedis and now say 100 cedis. And then dance man dying who got 600 oh nothing room name or do 2 years 600 cedis 2 years because of that need to be able to mother than or no person or two now or do a for a show on what 600 what 500 then they would turn into a person who 2 years. And to moon come shame my and say you to the bread. Ye a better a bone, ye are near to a back. I made your main influence in call for a
President Nanado, your friend Matheson, Sunan and War. Makotna a woman Holland, Aqua Sam in Fifre. Sikaka Cremiano, Mediaba Mia Maimu, Ghana. The Ababetu registered bank, a JN Bank. President Nanado, Uber TV so be catch Ghana for sale. JN Bank are yet Nejumaye, Tiwaji Bank and alliances no. What the customers in Misika Bemoma. 3 years money, Mensanka Misika. Sikaka Kreka Yemeso, 550 million. Media Kwako to commercial bank. Na Midi commercial bank there, Midi Misika Kotua a save. President Nanado, Enam IMF Bosiana Woko Boninti. Osimi Misika 550 million na Udia Kwako ye Jumenya interest was no. 1 cedi Koran Mame. Misika Tren eno so. Ose Mame. Just 2024. Nesikano interest ketuano aminyano. Obema mimu 5%. Menye Juma Wogana. Mintimi so enko Holland se meko ye adwuma mimfia ko ani mu kakra kwan ben so na mefa so a me ne meyire ne memba yibedidi Mr. President mesro se me ma se me be street carefree ho mia misika makosam infifre enya no mesro se obama mensa aka obi bia obi tie saa me audio me recording yi bi no mesro se mo de beto mo platform so ebetimi afa so ma President Nanado nensaka wenyama semi bi etie Ghana mpanyinfo mesere mo so se mo ne President Nanado be kasa ama me medamase
NFM Radio.
Sydney Discotheque, verano del 79, con la mejor música del mundo, del mundo, del mundo, del mundo, del mundo, del mundo.
Oye, oye, oye.
Right, so it's now 8:20. I'm looking at the digital clock. It's saying 2020. 2020 was a very serious year, isn't it? Welcome to the Oja. Welcome to Fire Will Burn You, Mansa Musa. Aye, ye, Oja. Aye, ye, Oja. Oja, he, Oje. Oja, he, Oje. Right, you're welcome to the show. Fire Will Burn You. It's running till 10 p.m. tonight. I've arranged to speak to some personalities in Ghana. Hopefully, I'll get them to come and discuss matters with me. What are we talking about tonight? It's all about what is happening in Ghana. Notably, it's getting to the festive. No, this is not festive. It's getting to the rough and tumble. It's getting to the oh yes, roya, tackle me and I tackle you boot for boot. It is nearly what we call the election season, where a lot of promises will be made. A lot of programs will be laid out by each of the contestants. some of their programs will be, look, all their programs, when you listen at least on paper, will be laudable. It will be things that we need. But how can we trust, how can we believe that it could be done? And it could be done properly, because you can promise and come and do something like the free SHS, which has brought so much problem, as we speak. A lot of children, a lot of human beings, Ghanaians, have attended secondary school. For me, if you bring any argument, I will say that no matter what, even if they have learned the minimum, it's a good thing. But we could have done it better if it wasn't about the politics of it. If Ekufuado and Co. had planned it properly, and not just the politics. We did it first syndrome. So instead of getting a very good program, for very tough, very excellent outcome, rather we have lots of people who have completed secondary schools, but really they've just, I would say, completed secondary schools. It's good. It's good to be educated a little bit. So that is the Anima Koliwa sung by the great Osibisa of several years ago. Anyway, but tonight, Mansa Musa, you are here. If you are listening to me on the radio, and those few people are 2 people on Facebook, well, the discussion is centered around. We are going to talk about what is happening in Ghana, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good thing is that both parties have their leadership, in place, or leaders in place. And while I think the NDC have about 5 more parliamentary primary seats to fill, the NPP are yet to go into their primaries for the parliamentary group. And for goodness sake, judging by what has been going on, a lot of, give and take, a lot of monies changing hands. I know a lot of illegalities and even some criminality is going to happen. People are sharing money left, right, and center. I'm not saying that this phenomenon is new or it is something that has been is being practiced just recently. No. It is a fact that money changing hands during elections and Kalabule and Azain, all those things are WAM. All those things have been happening for a long time. The difference this time is the magnitude of wrongdoing, is the impugn style, or the impunity, the I don't care, you can't do me anything attitude of people in power today. That's the attitude. You can't do anything, we'll do whatever we want, And so the wrongdoings or the criminal activities like buying votes, which previously was done behind closed doors and quietly, and in those days, those times, when people even pay money for votes and the rest, They do it in quiet, and when you complain or you speak about it, they will deny it. But these days, see, they don't care. As if that is the right thing to do. But imagine that if somebody, for instance, the long-suffering police establishment, if police people should take bribe or take some handouts or some under the table gifts, you see, then we are all going to rise up in arms and shout that the police are taking bribes. They don't do their work, according to merit. They are not following the law. They are not enforcing the law. They are not bringing law and order. A whole lot of, because they are the police. If the judges do the same, we're gonna condemn them. Mansa Musa, I will condemn them. But the politicians are now have now established something very dangerous, something, like I said, wrongdoing happens all the time, everywhere on this planet. In fact, God himself knew that we will do a lot of wrong, a lot of evil, a lot of, bad things. That's why, like the Bible says, he brought his only beloved son to come and wash away our sins. So, people will do the wrong, but usually people do it in the quiet, in the hiding, behind closed doors. Then in comes Akufo-Addo, hey la la, oh la la. Akufo-Addo came and ladies and gentlemen, really, I've said it several times. Anyone who would like to listen to me, I've said it several times. I said, look, Akufo-Addo, if there's anything good that he has brought to Ghana politics, the only thing good about him is that he has taught, or he's teaching everyone how not to govern a country. In fact, those people doing government and reading politics and the rest, reading law, everything that you want to read, this Akufo-Addo practicals, this template will tell you that this is not a way to govern anything. To govern a classroom, a school, organization, nothing. This isn't the right thing. And it's good that at least for now, this generation, we will suffer the consequence. If we try and educate people properly, perhaps it won't continue forever, so that the next generation will try to live properly, like humans. I don't mean humans by, just standing on your feet, not eating on the floor and not walking on force. That makes you a human. No. It is about the fact that you know what is wrong from what is right, and you do things properly. In a society, in a country where, the wrongdoers far outnumber the good doers, that is a problem, isn't it? That is really a problem. But then I'm not here to philosophize or to try to, teach you, I'm not that person to teach people how to live their lives. What I'm here to do is to highlight, the politics. How the police, yes, it's true. I'm wearing Ghana police cap. You see, now I'm a police. Someone would say I'm impersonating or something. Ghana go, we have a bomb as soon as and the time I was in my 20s in the army, bomb as soon as crown me so this time bomb me one crown have a tiare. But anyway, so you see. So yeah, it's true. What you are seeing is the truth. I'm wearing Ghana police cap. Where I got it from is my secret. See what I mean? I want to join the police when I go back to Ghana. Not as an officer, but from recruit. I want to start running, and I love the stopping of vehicles to collect some small monies. I love it. I want to go and join that group. So yeah, we are here to discuss. I'm here. If you want to join me, fine. In fact, if you think you want to join even on Zoom, I can set up the Zoom link straight away, and you can join me on Zoom. If you want to call me on mobile or the telephone is 028-123-5911, or, and I also say 07876-251-261. That's 07876-251-261. All framing numbers now. I will discuss anything. Maybe you agree with me, say, Akufo-Addo a bon, was sell mine. Or you will disagree and say, no. As we are being told that everything that has happened, every negativity is the fault of external or internal. In fact, until COVID came, every wrong thing was attributed or blamed on Mahama. You see, so COVID and Ukraine war has come to take a little bit of the pressure from Mahama because everything was being blamed on him. Akufo-Addo and his family people are crooked. Then come in BAWUMIA. BAWUMIA was brought in, touted as the brains, the sort of people. In many countries and across the globe, you have some presidents or some finance ministers or some war general, a war minister, anything. They make some big difference, like they are top on their game. They are really on top of their game. They know their stuff, and that when they are given assignment, they come out in flying colors. So that is how BAWUMIA was portrayed to us Ghanaians, that BAWUMIA is a top guy when it comes to economics. That, no nonsense. He knows the reasons, some figures don't add up. And we were told, he himself, explained that he knew not only the theoretical reason, but the practical reason why certain factors come about. For instance, why your currency would depreciate so quickly. So, currencies fluctuate. They depreciate and they gain. They lose and they gain. But when it depreciated so quickly, BAWUMIA knew why the answers, everything. BAWUMIA knew how, not to borrow. BAWUMIA knew how to generate monies to build the economy from within so that they won't go and borrow like Mahama and his people were doing. You see, if I want to go on the BAWUMIA tangent, I can speak about it till the end of the program without mentioning anybody. That is how BAWUMIA was sold to us Ghanaians. And some people who were not so clever, they grasped it. Hook, sink, and what? And sinker, what? Hook, damn, what, something, and sink. I've forgotten how the saying goes. But people just accepted him, just like so many people accepted he himself, Akufo-Addo. Many of us knew, no, these are tricksters. In Crawford way, a friend is saying, Jekyll and Hyde. Omu ye to say, a cromha, a be show be only fools and horses. Omu ye tricksters. Omu ye traders be they will con you and have your money, take your money away. Now, ombe coin you now, my juicy cacana, ube clap arm. This is how some of us knew it. We saw it. But Satam uko platforms now throw baby. Me can't say me throw about Akufo-Addo. I didn't add His Excellency. Hey, idea me wo platform no so no. Naturally say me kura me doc no kura me intimi. But take it or leave it. With some of us who were skeptical about this Akufo-Addo and his BAWUMIA, we've been proven right. We've been proven very right. Oh, what a beautiful goal. Preston North End scored a beautiful goal against Blackburn. Is it? Yeah, Blackburn. I'm watching the studio monitor. I'm watching a nice goal. But that's not why I'm here. I didn't even have to say that. But so the point is that what I'm trying to say is that Akufo-Addo and BAWUMIA, you see, now Akufo-Addo and BAWUMIA are on stage again. They are in the limelight again, so to speak, telling Ghanaians that I don't know where to start. Look, if you understand this, can someone really convince me that, Mansa Musa, you don't know what you are talking about? Honestly speaking, BAWUMIA as a president will be better, he will perform better. I don't get it. BAWUMIA as a president, he will perform better. I mean, what is the guarantee? Because what we should be seeing is that some followers, or let's say some deputies or some vice, I mean the deputies for president, when they know that some programs by their own government isn't good enough, they interject. They protest, sometimes secretly, sometimes they come out to protest and, hey, Where we are going is wrong. I've advised and they are not taking it. Imagine if even just 1 year ago, BAWUMIA has come out to say that, look, this isn't right. This really isn't right. I cannot be part of it. I've advised. Or even he said that mildly in a certain nice way, and then maybe he didn't even leave the government. Then today, you say, oh, he has been complaining, and we all know he has been complaining. But when you follow everything by your leader, and, you even, what we call it, try to convince people midstream when the bad things started happening. Still, BAWUMIA was convincing people that, no, we are getting it right. Either doing that or he was just quiet. He wouldn't say anything, waiting for, you see, the guy is cynical. He was waiting for the opportunity when something nice come out, some positive, then he will bring his head out and come and talk as if he was doing it. Lo and behold, as God and Kaba will have it, nothing proper came out of their rubbish governance. And so BAWUMIA has been cast asunder. Huh? Like someone said, E-levy, he didn't speak about it. They DDP, whatever, taking off suspension of people's money, pension money, and they say he hasn't spoken about that. Hey, a head of economic management, Today, you guys are saying that, don't blame him. Oh, when he becomes president, he'll be good. Is that how politics is? How do you place a criteria? I mean, how do you rate people? Is it not according to their performance, maybe their previous performance and even current performances? Previous performances on the CV, what you've done, and that's why people look for, whenever you go and look for a job, they ask you what you've done, what you've done. They want to see, they want to know. Sometimes they will call your previous bosses to ask them and everything. Previous performance in education is what, how much grade you attained, and the rest. Then when we are talking about current performances, now going forward, people want to tell us that, forget about previous performance, forget about current performance, but the future, let's give it to him. No, that is not, you see, politics and power is not given on silver platter. It's not given, you got to earn it. And yet Ghana for ya dream say the traba in your manoma be we just say people don't even want to earn it. And one thing I dislike Alan Chamantin so straight away when he started talking, it drew me so. That was so foolish, a headline, a tag, a comment, a mantra. It was so foolish, I don't know who advised him. It drew so. When you are coming to serve the people, coming to take a huge responsibility, you don't say, do me so. Because the responsibility, if you see what we call the presidential job, it's an opportunity to prove your worth. But it's a big responsibility for one to take upon himself. And so when this, what is his name? Alan Chamantin's mantra became a Drew Misoni, and then say, I can send walk, I would say straight away. Because people like this come and lead and they destroy people's lives. That one, you don't see it as an insult. You see, the management of a group, a school, an organization, a football team, the rest. The management. You look, for instance, just one example. Poor management has made or has led, let's say 19 people apparently died at a Kolebu hospital for lack of dialysis and all that, the medical assistance and help that they could get. Bad management has made those people die. They've died just like that. No question asked. You see, and when you think about, apparently when you think they are telling us the amount of money needed for, the possibility of people surviving their ailments, it's not a given that people would have survived, but the possibility at least, you have a chance. They give you the chance. So the amount of money needed to try to secure people's life, it wasn't apparent. It was how much? 4 million cedis. And for that, 19 people were just, left to die. Just like, management of everything. For instance, another one is the Volta River Authority, management of the river and how, everything about it. The management by the political masters. Now we are getting to know that this river started rising, and according to the technical know-how people, this what we call a spillage or releasing of excess water could have been done months ago and been done gradually. You don't wait till when the water behind the dam becomes so huge, so heavy that it is going to break up the dam, and that one would have taken thousands of people away. You don't have to wait for that. But, when you are living in a country that the accountability is not placed on leadership, accountability is completely lost on leadership. People governing the country are just not in the other way around, that people governing countries in, say, Europe, sometimes they are made to get so tired, they resign, they step aside, they step down themselves. In Africa, it's rather the people worshiping the people who are supposed to be, helping them to run their lives. You vote for people in Africa, and we are supposed to worship them. And so they don't have any responsibility placed on them. They know that most people, those who are a bit enlightened intellectually, can be bought easily. But most people, because of tribal alliances and other specifications or other reasons, they tend to, just leave a blind eye. I mean, they tend to not to scrutinize what the government or its people are doing. They don't care. People are so poor, so hungry. They are so needy. Whenever there's the election pending, they are happy. Look at this MPP group, the delegates. So happy that election is going to. Now we still have this in the parliamentarian side. They will be collecting money. This is the time for them to collect. I don't blame them. If you collect the money, if you don't collect the money and they win, they are coming to punish you anyway. If you collect the money, they will still come and punish you. So why don't you collect the money? But the sense in it is that if people bring you monies, because now it is time to vote, and they want your vote, and they give you these paltry sums of monies, you got to collect it. After all, like I say, if you have proper choice, then you have to use your brain to vote. This is the case, the presidential primaries for the MPP. The choice was just simply not available. There was no choice. I mean, how can somebody like the Greek minister and the other one called something Nimo, Adai Nimo, nobody even know him. He hasn't got no principle, no ideology, nothing. It's all about MPP. Then we have somebody a comprehend. Jesus Christ. Waba banning them now or sabi openimu kra no who do start baby we don't do that or sa bua to pa yes be the Crawford disrespect to people shouting jeje na nyina no. So there was no choice. I can consider the bunch, the best in the bunch is what these MPP have got. That's BAWUMIA. But he himself is so tarnished. Nidia say my time. Nidia say poto BAWUMIA. Nti ono ena yede na esi wo say omra emefesi Mahama. Na Mahama ina. Okay, thank you. Mahama ena wakeka nsem say, hey, I'm ready to govern and I have new programs. I have new programs. Let me go for a short musical interlude. When I come back, I'll play Muhammad's full. Is it a full? I don't know if it's full this thing, but his message to the TUC when he met them.
Sydney Discotheque, verano del 79, con la mejor música del mundo, del mundo, del mundo, del mundo, del mundo, del mundo.
Oye, oye.
Anoma koliwa, anoma koliwa, 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 anoma koliwa, anoma koliwa, 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 anoma koliwa, anoma koliwa, 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 anoma koliwa.
Right, I'll see Oja, hey, Oja, yeah, Oja, Mosario, Oja, yeah, Oja, Oja, hey, Oja. I'll see beside Damwase. Right, you are still here and you are welcome to the show, Mansa Musa. It's Fire Benue. Beautiful, beautiful weekend, beautiful Friday night, and I hope everything, wherever you are, yeah, you are winning nicely. Anyway, we are here to discuss Ghana stuff. And for the past 30 or 40 minutes, I've been talking about how Akufo-Addo has actually shown Ghanaians how not to run the country. Yes, I need a boy mine. Now, let me check out this. is a brand TBR or war MC Kumasi MC your sofo wakasa yenko na yenkuti you know.
Patrini, mana mopena mana bedi BAWUMIA Kumasi ya papa eni yenhwe Kumasi ya na hwan Oma mububo omudi ona bo chemensa ne hwanhwan ono chemensa obi oba ne mpesua so kora ye tunsuo boro no obi oba ne mpesua so ye tunsuo boro no Santefo MPP asantefo a mote ha MPP fo a mubo Kumasi ha mo de mo nkyere me Kumasi man de mo aban adodankwa abrante na nado eba ya wabeya ma efre Kumasi man mo nkyere enso mpanimfo bebre 1 pp mu no from Kumasi Ashanti region mabon the whole Ghana MPC a mabon any ministers mabon e Ashanti region me catch them play I don't care me fa won dey mo be tie me mama nka so nchiro mama Asante mem enya hana ne more vote wo ba mama nka so nchiro mama besisi hospitals bebre wa Asante mem obeye kwai bebre wa Asante mem minim hwe no mama beye market oye kejitia mama ya tonsu market wono oye Tafo market mebwa Asonwase market mama na ye Ebuakwa market mama na ye mebwa okay nanado aka market mi enu pe ne wo Kumasi miensa wo de mfa ne miensa yemfa ne miensa 1 Central market 2 Kofro market 3 Mampontre market kohe amokuya ene akyerebe ne aprebiri na aye homa mebwa awrade hu mmobo hwe Kumasi kurum look at Kumasi kurum Kumasi for mo na mo amanije hwa adehye market ekwa na da ho no ya faka akofa ho hwe ena wo wura mu Ashtown na wo besi Asantemenim ho a hwe kwa ye da ho Kumasi kurum ankasa kwai eyo poor min kan sabi ni nkro nkito Kumasi kurum the capital city Kumasi Asante region you be say eso yewo Asante fo mpanimfo a mudi MPP achi monum ne hiamo monum ne hiamo me say from this year to next year the besi asofo ho na mbo say asofo bi kasa masa ye be dire simple so aro bi masa sofo ye campaign o amen kan kire o na ade biara ekoso wo manum a enye asofo ne ka ho asem from Genesis ekosi edisem study Bible ni ye asofo ne ka ho asem me say nyankom hya asem eye west nti afi yanzo so sawo yanzo so modi free education bom ho samana ne free education bay free education a school fees ye sese ye tuya no machagu niema so matoto niema mu dia kwahye wo no free education bay matoto niema mu e ho na se free education bay free education me tuto de mama me ba me koto trank 2 million na kane trank na say na ya 20 Ghana cedis troubles na ya say na ya 15 cedis and that troubles ya say trank ya say akura no wukuta 3000 kura na wontimi to to ba hu enema mfa no go school pu me say Ghana asofo monye very wise en sunun ko ahu sungu nuanom en min wan kasa wo hu dwene wo nuanom en asofo no mebusa mo even mo korese kura no say na eko mo korese no mafore ba mo bode say na eko afi de bedro on say ko also sofo bi aka so be fore ontimi mo because members ni niska de odi kura wonya bi e de no be fore ontimi mo Yeah, the audio crowing be. Obi be come asam kyerɛ wa ɛsɛ wo pesika ɛtɔ da bi a obi ba na me hwɛ ne din no wɔ kwa me ni bi wɔ me ho ayɛ dɛ nam de amana kɔ na sɛ me amadamfo sɔfo bi na yiri ba me nkyɛn na yiri bɛ kan na asɛm nyinaa na ɛsɛ ɔba no manya hwɛ kora no me man lɔle fɛ nothing sikini hɔ lɔle fɛ bɛ na de bɛma no ɔkɔ nyina ɔbɛdwen sɛ bi wɔ hɔ ɛna manfie no enso amamu bɔne a yɛtim na do ne mpanimfoɔ wia wɔ maa no mabɔ yɛ korɔ no mo sisi yɛn sanitation minister rescue gu ne dɛm na do wɔtumi agye sika wei hɔ ɛde wɔn nsa kɔtɔ nkɔfoɔ pension pay mu mo ɛtrimɔden ahyɛ mo ma mo nsakra awurade nhyira wo me so wobɛfrɛ me a me number 0243 884541. I don't care. Kodenya me hwe awurade nyankopon. Ye be ye ne se jataburuwa no. Bye bye.
NFM Radio.
Sydney Discotheque. Verano del 79. Con la mejor música del mundo. Del mundo. Del mundo. Del mundo. Del mundo. Del mundo. Del mundo.
Oye. Oye!
So you just listened to one very unhappy church person, a pastor, indeed, Kumasi diaspora, a Kumasi place, and this was of when near break papa. But as someone can, Bakugre ni wa bejinichim or say, Kufado nina bauma bomu chrono, Bokumasi for ne asanti for chrono. I hope, say, message, will go through. But for now, no. Min kohese min sabeka Mahama ni speech or deliver ewo efreho cross a TUC for omo grown asino. Yen kohese yen sabeka where is it? Okay, thank you very much indeed.
I want to thank you for this warm welcome into the Hall of Congress of the TUC, and to thank you for the warm welcome we have received and the solidarity that I have seen expressed here today. Let me thank you for the first copy of the Workers' Manifesto, and I can assure you that we will study it very carefully and incorporate the relevant provisions into the People's Manifesto. From the Workers' Manifesto into the People's Manifesto. Today we've gathered here as a family to cement the relationship between the TUC and the NDC in our shared desire to build the Ghana we want together. As Social Democrats, we believe in social justice and equity, and we share a common objective with organized labor represented by the Trades Union Congress. We both prioritize the welfare and well-being of the working class and ordinary people. This shared goal requires us to cooperate and collaborate to ensure the total achievement of our objectives. And as I've always said, the NDC and the TUC are allies. That trade unions have been instrumental in shaping economies to promote universal human well-being. The progress made in the Western world and other advanced economies is a testament to the tenacity and resilience of workers' unions. I believe that today's interaction will mark the beginning of even deeper relations to safeguard our common interests and ensure a better future for the working people of our country. Just as no economy can survive without prioritizing the well-being of its workers, we as Social Democrats recognize the need to design policies that accommodate the growth of industry and business and at the same time protect the interests of workers and their unions. The NDC, which I lead, recognizes that it does not have a monopoly on ideas and that it takes a cross-fertilization of ideas to achieve and sustain the economic progress of our country. And we acknowledge the pool of ideas and expertise at the disposal of the TUC and recognize that you have clear perspectives of the challenges confronting our country in this era, as evidenced in your Workers' Manifesto. As allies whose anchor ideology is social democracy, the NDC has no hesitation in inviting the TUC to actively participate in our strategy formulation processes so that the concerns of the working class and vulnerable can be adequately reflected in policy whenever we take over the reins of government. Comrades and friends, no political party in Ghana is better aligned to pursue policies favorable to the working class than the National Democratic Congress. We firmly and openly ascribe to the tenets of social democracy, believing that the state and the market can work together to ensure economic expansion and equitable sharing of the fruits of economic growth. We understand that our collective well-being as citizens resides in sustained economic growth through high productivity in sectors where we have a comparative advantage. We therefore welcome any opportunity to engage organized labor in the pursuit of these objectives continuously. Therefore, I wish to thank Brother Secretary General and your team for the opportunity to dialogue with you today, and Frederick Ebert Foundation for the platform it has created for the two of us to engage. Comrade Secretary General, our beloved country has been hit very hard by harsh economic conditions over the last couple of years. Under this current administration, Ghana has witnessed severe adverse effects due to what we in the NDC and many Ghanaians consider a self-inflicted economic crisis. The high inflation rate, high cost of living, destruction of jobs, debt crisis, and negative impact on investors are some of the effects of this administration's failed policies. The economic crisis has significantly impacted workers and citizens generally. Unemployment rates, particularly amongst the young people, have risen to their highest in recent memory, making it difficult for many to find stable and decent paying jobs. Inflation and exchange rate volatility have eroded workers' purchasing power and have pushed many beyond the poverty line, below the poverty line. The healthcare and education sectors have also been negatively affected with inadequate funding and deteriorating quality of services. Our economy is plagued by high public debt levels, which hinder investments in social and economic development projects. And I give you, for example, in 2016, if you shared the public debt of 120 billion among 30 million Ghanaians, each Ghanaian owed 4,000 Ghana cedis. Today, if you divide the debt of 577 billion by 30 million Ghanaians, all of us sitting here owe 19,000 cedis. This, coupled with a relatively high unemployment rate, particularly amongst the youth, exacerbates the challenges faced by our citizens. Inflation and exchange rate volatility further erode workers' purchasing power, as I said. For the first time in over 50 years, we have defaulted in payment of our debts, and we've been downgraded by credit rating agencies to the lowest level ever experienced, junk. In other words, baller status. The escalating cost of living driven by hyperinflation, a collapsing currency, and rising prices of essential items, including food, has made life unbearable for millions of Ghanaians.
Right. What I would say though is that let's your friends have the message, you know. Let's leave it for now. I need to go to Kumasi. Someone a clip on my boss is Siano. Sa clip no. Or software no. Akra nyame osini din eye akra nyame ogina mahoma iso enti enko ne ani akra nyame enkodi enkomo kakra osofo akra nyame e mawadwo ejo so penekase na oho ye de Krista dumo na monso mo to say kakra akraja awono na ebasa no a say unse nyame abɔ nneɔma no betam bia ne yɛ complain ewia ne bɔ too much ane yɛ ho hyehyɛ awɔ no so ba ne yɛ kasa apart from that ne bibia yɛ okay na before me be frɛ we me wɔ ha na obi opani bi pa ne kyɛ so panifo ne bi ɔde send me ɔsema so mo sɛ tiade we ɛna me bɔ no quietly na me tie na me say what. This is a powerful message. It's not just because message you know na wo kan na emi de tuma but no krabia e wo mo we nya kokudro wo de kan no say no nkwana o kasa sa na say wo fu say sa feeling no it's shared by so many people like say so for the bebre enim asem a wo kan as say e do kre
okay obani metia wo bibiara o tie wonumwe yɛkyia obia radenka obia obani me na me fi sɛ me nkoana me kasa asebo but asebo ya me de beto abonten no the free 3 days today bisine asofo a o ma frɛ me more than asofo be 50 a wo mo se me nkora won sama America no hono ɛna Ghana fo bebre ahemfo and then penifo bebre afrɛ me ɛna na ade betim na manda even won kɔfo kora wa kontuom ɛne Ghana fo ahemfo bi wa ha ɛfrɛ me se me nkora ba obani ade ba kwa me pese nipa biara a wo ye Ghana ni bia wo hunu ne se bra MPP ni NDC ma ema ye no na Ghana wo ho ɛna sebi Ghana ye yenti ɛna MPP ni NDC ba se omo ba beboa ye
correct
so people so beboa we nipa no wo sofa no say baby a wo no wo sofa ti be baji wo firi ho na afi de wo ba ye ni so du duro de asowa won tumi ntum na ya we nipa no wa meboa ne mo oba say nko be kilo ejame no ka say meka amagana for NFM Radio Fidiati. Well, if you say free to Aba from Lawrence Town, Matuma Lawrence in Prenu, Matuma Kufum Prenu, Matuma Tamis, Namtuma Mampeni Mama, and Namtuma Nanadum Prenu. Open ye, me a sofu by Nanadum Sama Obekana Ghana Hano. So now we Yesu Christ will be a yen multi pa no dear sweaty a nanado nen penny but if we said you're too about we are so me know me who da sa BAWUMIA matuo no opani me kaya na misu because campaign me yen secret because of that time no na me ntumi nyima ni munya campaign because of nanado nsem ufua be enan a samiensa bi a okan ya eto makoma so nanado na kaye o se yetisika so e kom de yen o mobosia da tinio o mobosia da afenso o tese o kekan sem bebre etimeni asofo kosia eso unia papa we mumia to abama no unia papa we mumia to abama no me mama busu nyinara kuma se bantima ye fie nim na MPP office wo nyina wo bia to abana manado afi enne me no kase sa asofo ni bi frame ya no mudimatem Ghana even say ye de control taxa ena ye di ye ba and kayen sofasi say ye de Ghana control taxa ama ye di ye nia openi ayi no ho o ma no e to da bia enne me no kase obetimi ba won chai sofo obeka ni problem nyina kirewa sabi o kwa wanya hwe ama no lord fekwe so de ma no and so nothing onya bi ma no nipa be na bi se bi wo ho na wan fama no eja ebi ni ho wo mani ma ye di wo bi su ebi nyina yesu wo ma wo mu ani ji kakra ye wo ma mu di na nado ti mpanifo no mu di etira wo ma fo wo mani sika ye krono ade ye me ya se ye ka se o mampani dada mama eye kronfo Ghana fo nyina kan adaya wo ye confirm yesen confirm no ayira ena ye tu mama ena nana do so ye justice we ye no kwarefo ade ya me ya se ehiafo bi ekopa ebosia ekoto to excavator se ahochirenti omo ye galemse no mo didi kakra didi no ye tire wo excavator nyina ande ye metia ye se excavator na ban tire ye no 500 etima yira na mekufu do abamwom ayira etima mi busa se wa wo so ye justice no akamo hello
ye ti opa ye ti o na mi busa se wa
wo so ye justice a wo ba be yese no mama man confirm ya na wo so wo ba se wo de wo ye na wo yan trouble ma no yan so we na fe nkofo excavator wo tire ye no atima yira wa mamoma na wo ne mama no wa de pa na ye krofo pa edi me se afioi ekosi 2024 akoda nyame Ghana fo bia wu se asofo bi aka asofo bi abomo ye demonstration da afioi ye behuru bia sa na buro nyane du wasa na say asofo makoma 600 ye kosi a ni ye bompaye afa asofo ni nyina ye bompaye magana na sesi ya de niema ayedin omasi o asofo 600 akosia na ye nyina yesu e bompaye se niema ayedin adai wasa na media niema nianum kumase man ne kromofo kumase man asante man me do wo ya che wo me region bia body kumase man ye ya be say MPP moja wo yimu enyo MPP moja wo yimu enti die ekobia na ye be fa ne saa de o Ghana region aye bre na ye sofa na yinya bi papien frame people ho a ya Asante region Daddy, Omampere mama, Asante region, anya no nya no more vote. But ya no try so obenya kakra free ho. Na wi asesa akokɔ satira kroma se dan a enya ne fe. Enso mama ye to abama mama, mampani dada mama, na ye president ya. Anya bebre wo Asante region ho a enya se obi se ni na nitua. And Asante region patem hano so sabi ye took a sini kakra ye nimniema wo ye anya hwe kura no o omampani dada mama ebeye kejitia emaye oye wosi aswase market emaye wosi atonso market emaye ebua kwa market wona na yeye tafo farmers market wona na yeye tinio oye sa market we nyina ma yeye Asante radio wosi school dai asante foka say school dai na wosi egumire eno na yemi ya say school dai yesi ni fie ana yesi ni market school dai yesi ni wirem na korona atra akoka no papa we yesa ni ma we nyina ana nanado oba amase ye market ya ka me meka na say aka enkabra be ye maye central market your friend say Kofro market and a me kuro Mampontine market daddy the rest central market ye go and ne Kumasi Garden City e kwemu ye de kwema ye station ye de kwema ye Dradibia e kwemu papa e de be kura ni wait man ya amasa de for ya koka wo say your friend say ebuakwa ekwai from tano so o mampene da ye mama eye kosi tano so na wo ye tano so tu ebuakwa no eno kura kwa no minye so say ekwa no obefra kunya so no ya wie we from atonso etra kontase ekwa no mo jato na no me kofa ho o mo jaya to bo jaya kwa no wo do mo sabeka your friends so amekwai wonna kakra kai a wosi wonni sikai so amekwai obeye eja asante for ni kumasman eda so GMP dia ano bi afiri a member ko we say afi akodanya mimi mejire simpie so na me saw mampani mama so wo tie me na wo binim ne no ba ka tren say ade a me pe e tundra na wo ma me machines na me so mu tundra mu because Ghana ye kwa ne nye na akodanya me be bia mejira ye campaign bia me ye asa
Anti mami mbao mami nchawa no a wo kasai enye se bia wo no we a typical NDC ni and wo kasa man NDC because wo count history now I'm say what to Obama president bia na wo patch say nkrofo minim say nkrofo keka especially NDC for no o kromo ayedin kumase omo nye hwi mae omo aboy kumase for abro me question be sound say DNT na ama a special asante for no mo ye MPs a omo fi kumase no ade na sebe omo mpre ade embafi e ho no uyi ano say
obani eno na me hu wo mo say wo man kwese wo mo ko akobua asante mai me mo wo man kasa wo mo personal interest because mo enti me say the whole Ghana open MPs ni ministers ya wo mabon na abro ewo wo mutima ya Asante region ya Asante region opening my main custom kakra Asante mai even your capital town Kumasi Kurano tai ya kwa ye gugun fitiri ni anye ya kwa ni na ya basa and so ya wo honorable chairman sawa your friend say Shema Opade ewa ha ya wo mpanimfo bebre wa ha ba ya kwaye nipa nam so tai daddy na Asante fo me yase Kumasiman yentumi sese ya adwene yentumi sese ya adwene still ya da so di MPP eti besinna wo bra na na ado ekufuado adodankwa abranti ye papa we dia santimai namo ama ye mo kuyasia ye da so di na tie na no na me say BAWUMIA me dey home de kan Japan ba ya ka me problem BAWUMIA Jesse no eda so sew what da so say Jesse na ma 10 Jesse e wo ball no ma mo ye ni ho free na se one ti man se go na wo be ka say Jesse ye je captain band no the ball and start what ma say go dia then na wonye prayer papa na wonye prayer papa obani Dr. BAWUMIA Katia Ghana phone in us. Omano petrol no ye petrol any diesel or the good process petrol ni diesel diama said ye be better petrol ni diesel so eja say what they call ye say one franco any tell you azabi bri wo ho any konto bri wo ha Dr. BAWUMIA etra one factor say even obewura so the democrat say okoye campaign na boss nkemodem so okoye campaign na menya sakasaka nyankopɔ bibia ni wa yamaye Dr. BAWUMIA bibia ni wa yamaye bibia ni wa yamaye die na yenyina so mfanto abama
sɛ ɔpa kyerɛ sɛ ɔno no nka onye bibia anka ɔbɛyɛ nso no ɛm sɛ gyama Kufu Addo na ɛma ne kwan ana
Eza anya no kore esuo ni esuo na ebo esuo ni esuo na ebo yentia BAWUMIA me de minim saka wo mo mfa ne ba na mom de ontia MPP mpanifo agyegyam edi BAWUMIA ti eye krono a wo mabɔ Ghana fo na wo mo pese wo de BAWUMIA be kata so anya me yasafo me twa kontompo me yasafo ena sebi obi a MPP office wo mi fie anim de musa se mabusua no kro mo yɛ info mabusua no kro mo yɛ info so MPP for the Ghana abo bebre no kwase mo yɛ sika se na nado betima kanu kore na BAWUMIA betima kanu kore na onabo seje mensa no betima kanu kore pa wo mo tire bosia na nado abono wiase nyina eniema wode aye opani up to date coronavirus vat wo mo die enso krokro wo de coronavirus ba ye no wo mo ja kwasem ka
enti me bo sa bia omo pa kyerɛ sɛ BAWUMIA no ba obetimi aye bibia besisin say I mean eno no wayi ho ano but still ano me no me ntiasie say wa na wo ka say Kumase ni Asantifo dia na obetimi ni nkrofo aye ema enye se bia by force I say support NDC na mom se na be o ma adwen be ba say look esi e vote enjina so esi enya enjina so aye di vote say ye pempuntuo ana say ye pe bia 500 cedis eguye bottom na dia na mo betimi aye because say na wo ka say de na che say woni abre dia na wo ne nkrofo asofo ne omamaka especially asofofo na wo say secretly and quietly they are calling you no Brody Beka we should be hearing from them as well ana anyesa
dia me ye ne say me say omampani mama kro wonya start in the camp here me ne ma start me de na yamfa de omampani mama be ye ne yamfa toto de MVP abane BAWUMIA be ye say what take what de me no go nsane so na say BAWUMIA de ya wo de tomano but yai eniema yenim ewo Kumase ha yenim de Dr. BAWUMIA nanado omunya hwema ye eno na nse na me ka kire chama would be me ye obi obi na ka kire say ye me yase chama would be eda so di BAWUMIA ti say ye to ba ma BAWUMIA wo Asante Radio ye kwa na bebre wa waje the contract enso wo fa ba secretary so say wo be ye yakwaya aprat tingina e fa wo ba wonya contractor so waje the contract because of catastrophe project it was a process because say BAWUMIA mana froba obebusa wo kwa no wasem it is adia ene ye fa BAWUMIA mrana eso nkata eno na ye me ya say oda me de me say asofo aye frɛ me nyina no me no mu kasa say me pese ye demonstration against Nanado and BAWUMIA because kanena na asofo na ya ye die ni ya ye die ba ya ye die ama ye de seka gana gana say no ye mpelesa obani ye mpelesa Kodenya me se modi bobiara me boy ye won nanado amemwo mu kampa me ye ada chese kampa no nyese me gina simbi so sesabi eni pati ye program bia so ni papa ko eni ade so akodenya me de ye eto da bia akofo ye da frame busam se ehe na me gina ability me bi o amekona nkofo ko a wo mo twemie but ni nyina no ye de sem tutu wo ma dwinim e ma wo mutimi e koto aba e dia ye wansam ka kire wo
obi be kasa bia dia wo ye wo so ayazan bia wo pe bibia fi politicians no na ye kan se MPP for no bi ba di bibi be share obotomo a wo be ye din no afa ne saa
aje sa ayazan bi na me pe bibia free wo mo a kemekwa akodon BAWUMIA so na me hu se hotiska and no so current last president sikana tawo mo because your friend say we kra sanitation minister kra we ska on go se friend dem enti hona kemekwa akodon
I see
kemekwa akodon na menyeska but asema me no okay unim me high diet eja me prot double prot mama tam me to prot me sidru baby na menya accident me sidru lens na menya accident ena me hoto me na do na wa akunya so eja me hoto me da benfi wotwe eni enso ni mintimi koda na ho biem ena no ya na madam for send them sika for my brother na me dey contract Belson 1,500 for the accommodation mintimi ko ho biem because the wood you krobunya na wo dey akosida ni wuje unyu ena odio ya me yi beto wi me feel we ya pipi ni pa wo se odume
hey asomni
wo se odume
na so sa problem na e wonu o se wo kan okre no onu agigi na sum ye serious ntina me bu sa o se sa ntoko esumpa na mo se wonya enkrofo ka wo ho because anya sa dia na che se ebia ne say o fie wurase obetuwi I hope so obehunu nyansa na de o kan de obejai if you say so man ye yia say obia ho beto no ana anya sa
oh yes eja media eniema bi ewom saga ana ye nkoyeti ye koyenim but say American na ye die no opani even jet kran to America sao Americana idea mama time on here high die single room na ukuta 800 onya bi high na ukuta 1,002 onya bi high single room and that single room your friend say 5,000 Ghana cedis it be 6,000 single room oko high timber hall and the turret that house aja and then ukuta just ukuta 2,000 and then when you start that
Jesus Christ.
So men today say, and no make us say, Nana be so the friend case, but maybe be more friend case in the because school fees is as you piano, or the atuto near them, and they are got to near Maso. You channel will like be, you channel water be, you channel will near cement, you channel your road, you channel be DM, and the friend case in the new law. You tell what they are costing, baby, you clear about the name. The money in the Tia, and so San Cawabana can go secondary school. Fine, Nipa do say, and I can go secondary school. I will go to your school fees. Fine, but no, when you go set tax, but when you are to tax, so I'm a gun in your PSS school fees. Free education.
And free education, dear, we are seeing baby, Chrome Hagina free education. And I'm, oh, yeah, Nasa Kawi boarding in frame now. Aha, a day. Obia Codes, open all your boarding school are buying to scan. Debi. Obiako day. Etinka sa a community day schools no almost sino. And now they be free. And no senka obia ho nchire na wo kase or the taxes better to so if say ne ho chire no. How but listen. Mama, ye fancy ha na embre pemu mesa afro na bia me ni wo any asofo bi na omo ye like minded no wo frɛ from a wo ka kyerɛ mo a na ye hia wo zoom so me be ye zoom kwai na che se ye di nkomo enti try se obenya asofo ni bi omo a na mpanifo bi a se bi omo so anu drudwem na ye nyina ye nhwe because ye wo diaspora no me ntokwa no abaso anase ye mfre ne ntokwa bet argument na ye kono akwa read say wo ka bibi pe wo boa o NDC for say be wo no sabe kuma se ni asantini pa na se fantifo beka wa to ba hawo so say wa to ba haide na che say asamo ba enti also for koranya me meja na broni beka I'm very grateful time I would mommy because we didn't say I'm planning bibia only say me tie audio no and I'm born alive and me kedi agroso I hope I can get this man to come and speak to us live and obi sending me please get him enti me friend wa me sa kan no make say ye dase bebre we hope say we enye the last one ye dase pi
na ebia na obi pese wo frame ne me din komo bia
sure
me mfa me number
Fatija wo number no ye hang on me ba se wo ye wo chrome hantiro number no be ye 00233 24 me boa yes so wo Ghana so a ye just 024 388 4541 that's it you and here that was it but later bet you in council why you bye adienchi bye right so you heard it live coming to you from NFM Radio Mansa Musa we can also amala my bread
Discoteque Verano del 79 con la mejor música del mundo.
Oye.
You are listening to Mansa Musa. The program is the program The program is Fire Will Burn You. Metaphorically speaking, not literally, so don't get me wrong. I don't want to set fire to anybody. But when you come here to speak to Mansa Musa, you got to speak very well, otherwise say Jano Ebeshi show. Right, so that was Obisio, but also played the Osofo's voice again. Okay, let me see. Okay, let's go and listen to the Osofo once more. Right, the listening is not well sorted. Let me get the audio sorted and I'll play that audio once more for you.
part 3 ni wana mo pɛ na mana bedi BAWUMIA chi Kumasi ya papa eni entwe Kumasi ya na hwan Oma mububo omudin ona bo chemensa ne hwanwanom ono chemensa obi oba ne mpasua so kora ye tu nsuo boro no obi oba ne mpasua so ye tu nsuo boro no Santefo MPP asantefo a mote ha MPP fo a mugo Kumasi ha mo de mo nkyere me Kumasi man de mo aban adodankwa abrante na nado eba ya wabeya ma efre Kumasi man mo nkyere enso mpanimfo bebre 1 PP mu no from Kumasi Ashanti region ma bon the whole Ghana MPC a ma bon any ministers ma bon e Ashanti region me catch them play I don't care me fa won dey mo be tie me mama nka so nchiro mama Asante mem enya hana ne more vote wo ba mama nka so nchiro mama besisi hospitals bebre wa Asante mem obeye kwai bebre wa Asante mem minim hwe no mama beye market oye kejitia mama ya tonsu market wono oye Tafo market mebwa Asonwase market mama na ye Ebuakwa market mama na ye mebwa okay nanado aka market mienu pe ne wo Kumasi miensa wo yemfa ne miensa yemfa ne miensa 1 Central market 2 Kofro market 3 Mampontre market kohe amokuya ene akyerebe ne aprebiri na aye homa mebwa awrade hu mmobo hwe Kumasi kurum look at Kumasi kurum Kumasi for mo na mo amonije hwa adehye market ekwa na da ho no ya faka akofa ho hwe ena wuwura mu Ashtown na wo besi Asante manim ho a hwe kwa ye da ho Kumasi kurum ankasa kwai eyo poor min kan sabi ni nkro nkito Kumasi kurum the capital city Kumasi Asante region you be say eso yewo Asante fo mpanimfo a mudi MPP achi monum ne hiamo monum ne hiamo me say from this year to next year the besi asofo ho na mbo say asofo bi kasa masa ye be gire simple so aro bi masa sofo ye campaign o mamen kan kire o na ade biara ekoso wo manum a enye asofo ne kan ho asem from Genesis ekosi edisem study Bible ni ye asofo ne kan ho asem me say nyankom hya asem eye west nti afi yanzo so sao yanzo so modi Fred Casey bom ho samana ne Fred Casey a school fees ye sese ye tualo machagu niema so matoto niema mu dia kwahye wo no Fred Casey matoto niema mu e ho na hye Fred Casey Fred Casey me tuto de mama me ba me koto trunk 2 million na kane trunk na say na ya 20 Ghana cedis troubles na say na ya 15 cedis and that troubles say trunk say akura no wukuta 3000 kura na wontimi to to ba hu enema mfa no go school pu me say Ghana asofo monye very wise en sunwon ko ahu sungu nuanom en min wan kasa wo hu dwene wo nuanom en asofo no mebusa mo even mo korese kura no say na eko mo korese no mafore ba mo bode say na eko afi de bedro on say ko also sofo bi aka so be fore ontimi mo because members ni niska de odi kura wonya bi e de no be fore ontimi mo ya de odi kura wonya bi obi be kan asam kire wa se wo pesika to da bia obi ba na me hwe ne din no wo kwa minni bi wo me ho aye de nam de amana ko Nancy, me and Madame for Sophie, na yiri ba me nkyɛn. Na yiri bɛka na asɛm nyinaa. Na so oba no menya hwe kra no, me man lɔle fɛ. Nothing. Sikini ho. Lɔle fɛ bɛ na de bɛma no. Okɔ nyina obɛdwen sɛ bie bi ho ɛna manfie no. Enso amamu bɔne a yɛtim na do ne mpanimfoɔ wia wɔ ma no mabɔ yɛ koro no. Mo sisi yɛn. Sanitation minister rescue gu ne dem. Na do wetima agye sika we ho e de wonsa koto enkofo pension pay mu. Oh, mo etremode ahye mo ma. Mo nsakra. Awurade nhyira wo. Me so be frɛ me my number is 0243 884541. I don't care. Koda nya me hwɛ. Awurade nyankopɔn. Ye be ye ne se jataburuwa no. Bye bye.
NFM Radio.
This Jatabruwa comment has brought about a friend say Dr. Joe Swajima. I don't know Kasasa no. I just said Dr. Jatabruwa. Right, you're going to go to Mahama.
Due to the government's debt restructuring program, the working and middle classes face the greatest threat to their livelihoods. The debt exchange has expropriated the interest payments on bonds held by the working and middle classes, affecting many households, including poor pensioners. The poor who are dependent on the working and middle class also now face an uncertain future. According to the World Bank, inflation has pushed as many as 850,000 Ghanaians into poverty in the past 1 year alone. Unemployment amongst young people in Ghana has skyrocketed and is estimated today to stand at 13%. The consequences of this economic catastrophe have affected every sector of our national life, particularly education, health, and infrastructure. Unfortunately, the government has no grasp of the magnitude of the economic suffering that Ghanaians are going through and is unwilling to make the necessary adjustments to resolve it. They also appear unprepared to improve the general governance of the country and end corruption, nepotism, politicization, and the weakening of state institutions. They are oblivious to our country's failing state of education and health care and remain fixated on poorly implemented programs that have thrown the sectors into crisis. We also have a president who has run out of ideas on how to solve the economic challenges we find ourselves in. And by his recent declaration, his focus and last energies are going to be expended on installing his anointed successor as the next president. Comrades, we could have avoided this unpleasant situation. The signs of this crisis were there for all to see. A conflicted finance minister whose only interest was to borrow endlessly and mar our economy in the quagmire of debt was obvious from as far back as 2019. We could see it coming. A president whose budget was creatively crafted to hide huge liabilities in order to present a favorable economic outturn to the world so that he could borrow more from the international capital market was evident for all to see. NDC was left alone as the solitary voice seeking to hold the government accountable and speaking up for the voiceless Ghanaians. And we were often cast out as spoiled brats who were ranting just because we had lost power. Today, the chickens have come home to roost. And we are all affected. As he said, country broke, country no broke, we all dey inside. There must be an end to this decline and a restoration of stability. to the economy so that Ghana's citizens and working people can breathe a sigh of relief and not have their already inadequate incomes eroded further by inflationary pressures. In the last few years, I have been outlining policies that a future NDC government will implement, and the aim is to stop the steep decline in the economy, turn it around, and stabilize it. I've also shared my position on governance and institutional reforms to ensure our country is reset and built into the Ghana we all want. It is important to note that we in the NDC will not be couching propagandist slogans and passing them off as policy. We have much to learn as a country from the disaster that has unfolded before our very eyes, when sections of our population became so enamored with empty slogans and acronyms. We will focus on substantial government issues to get the job done in a no thrills, no frills manner. We will cut out the rigmarole and deliver realistic policies to impact our economy and our country positively. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, the NDC proposes a series of transition measures to address the economic decline and set Ghana on the path to recovery. These measures include reducing the public debt by placing a moratorium on non-concessional borrowing, actively seeking concessional financing and grants, and reviewing legislation to limit the non-core activities of some state-owned enterprises. Why must we reduce our debt obligations? Because we need to do so to create adequate fiscal space to stabilize the economy and provide social services. So to achieve this, the NDC will implement, amongst others, the following measures. 1, as I said, place an immediate moratorium on all non-concessional borrowing. 2, pursue our bilateral partners and multilateral partners for more concessional financing and grants. 3, implement infrastructural projects that are self-financing and not a burden on the public debt. 4, limit the central bank's financing of government, as we did in 2016, zero central bank financing of government. And also reform the Bank of Ghana. 5, tighten legislation to put a cap on debt accumulation and prevent any future reckless finance minister from borrowing, as has been witnessed under this administration. So you put a cap so that some rogue finance minister won't come in future and run up the debt again. And so if we say the debt must be 60% of GDP, at least every year you must calculate and make sure that you're under 60% of GDP. If the finance minister exceeds it, he will be sanctioned. Sanctioned, not sacked. I meant sacked. Re-establish the sinking fund to smoothen out our debt repayment obligations. So when we're in government, we set up a sinking fund to which we committed some of our oil revenues and other revenues so that any debts that were due, we had money to pay. Unfortunately, when this government came, they depleted the sinking fund and left it empty with no buffers to cover themselves. We will stop the collateralization of statutory funds like the GET Fund and the District Assembly's Common Fund. We will review some legislations to limit the financial implications of non-core activities of some state-owned enterprises like the Ghana Cocoa Board and the GMPC. Additionally, we aim to reduce the size and cost of government, tackle corruption, and enforce stricter financial management regulations and guidelines. To this effect, we will reduce the number of ministers and appointees. We will merge ministerial portfolios to prune down the number of ministries drastically. For instance, I don't see why we have aviation ministry, railways ministry, transport ministry, and all the other ministries. Sanitation ministry, local government ministry, business development ministry. We will reduce waste and cost overruns, institutional borrowing, and breaches in public procurement rules. We will ensure compliance with internal and external financial control systems. We will review, and I'm sure, let Secretary General sit down. We will review and eliminate ex gratia in its current form. That's what I want to tell you to sit down. Comrades and friends, we will recalibrate and amalgamate duplicated state agencies. In some cases, there are state agencies doing the same thing. We'll put them together. We will discontinue the payment of utility bills, fuel, DSTV, etc., as part of top government employee service conditions. The recent misuse of public funds by government officials demands more creative and stricter measures to prevent further financial losses. Therefore, we'll introduce stricter financial management regulations and guidelines to prevent the over 17 billion Ghana cedis that is lost in annual financial irregularities. We will also safeguard the principle of value for money in public procurement by establishing an independent value for money office that will vet any project above a specified ceiling approved by Parliament. We will continue with the implementation of the process of constitutional review in order to strengthen the 1992 Constitution and bring it up to speed with current trends and development. As you all know, this was begun by Professor John Evans Atta Mills. In 2015, somebody took us to court, and the case was not adjudicated till we were almost in the election year. And so we couldn't continue with it, and we left it to the next administration, and it has stalled. Stabilizing the cedi is another crucial measure to redirect billions of dollars spent on imports towards domestic production. We're not going to claim that we've arrested it and given the key to the IGP, but we're going to work to stabilize the cedi by eliminating a lot of the wasteful imports that we have a comparative advantage to produce. We'll incentivize the indigenous.
Right, let's pause here, and I'll have to go on to the Zoom to welcome Godfather, the Godfather of CPAC platform, onto the Zoom. So if you want to join the Zoom, join the Zoom. We'll have roughly about 10 minutes to talk, so we're not going to waste time at all. Anyway, Mahama was outlining his vision, his programs when elected, and comprehensive, really, a lot of things in there, unless, of course, you are one of those people who just simply refuse, or those who, how do I say it, that whatever happens, they don't want to know. We have some people like that as well. But then, Mr. Wyganza, hello. If you have a call there. Hello. Let me see. Okay, let me check. Yeah, it's my fault. Let me check, sort out the what do we call it? Me and me audio no nye and shey. So say miss me tonka. Yes. Your friend is Mahama video no sa message And I say, the message at the TUC conference, when you wait to meet here.
That time it meet here.
Right. And obviously, what exactly are you not impressed with, or and I say? Let's
assume that
let's start from there because let's say we be free, but I know where you're coming from.
Okay,
so I'm only being fair and I'm only being straightforward. And this here the one way. And to be say you have your reservations about certain aspects. Exactly. That's what I want to know.
You know my views about one of the main issues. But
so I want to make a picture buyer because we are two Facebook and YouTube live. And so say me no it is a blank. I don't know if it's maybe I want lightning adequate.
Light to apa.
So was when you were kakra. And just when you want to say video and when kakra, why don't you let us see you? Because some of they are two Facebook who share Facebook and I say be I recording and later I say me and so now what the I say a human image in boss and try. That's better. Now you are talking. Okay, so let's go. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, you know my position on the whole package of what he's saying. He's giving promises, fine, but the main one some of us question is the idea of what he said, 24-hour thing. No?
24-hour economy.
The modalities are not out, so obviously the foundation for a 24-hour economy is not there. We can be very honest about it. It's not there. So when you just say that you have a policy of 24-hour economy, it has no feet to stand on. Number one. So it's just I find as just a mirage and something to just wow his supporters. We've heard some of these things over, but the most important thing is he left something out that I find it very strange. One of the issues that Ghanaians are very, very concerned about that Kweku's government hasn't been able to deal with is the issue of Galamsey. Did you see that it was missing completely? Did you notice that?
You see, for me, my team twice.
I'm asking you that you notice it was missing.
I've listened to it twice. It's not there. But I can understand maybe why he and his advisor decided to omit it. Because Obekaya, and maybe before the election 2020, he said certain things about Galamsey, right? And people took just part of it and represented it as though he was willing them on to carry off Galamsey. It says chalice, you can't say poison chalice. Maybe that's the reason.
I mean, nobody took the wind out of his sail. Nobody misquoted him. He was ambiguous as it can be. It wasn't ambiguous. He was as clear as daylight. He said, NDC for a bar. You free them. Now I mean,
yeah, but you see, and because you only quote where you feel. You see, when I walk in you, Chimo, but people are transferred. Say they will retrain them. They will make them work according to the laws of the state. He just didn't say now. You release them to go and do Galamsey. Anything anyway.
You see, the fact say Jose. They will free them because I mean, Obia Bonia, then why don't you free everybody in prison? Obia or prison, what I say. So the idea is also be free on Galamsey because isn't that here not there? Until the affair non it wasn't a Obia
from about 1 second, Obia from Mbusano. 9227, hello.
Hello, Mansa Musa, good evening.
Oh, good evening, Joe. Want to be in Zoom?
Okay. What's any link?
Mama send you a link on Zoom because it's easier. Otherwise, send me some magic. Be I won't you be so until near the other. And just what a photos with that Baba send you Zoom.
All right.
Now I join here. Yanko, sorry, Mr. Waiki, Yanko.
So I'm saying, sir, the fact, sir, he made that statement, it's neither here nor there. And secondly, to think about Galamsey itself, the reason why I believe, sir, he couldn't say anything about it is because he feels, sir, they have actually compromised their own position on Galamsey, especially himself. His position on Galamsey is compromised. So
are you really saying, sir, Mahama and NDC have compromised themselves more than BAWUMIA and his MPP?
No. We're talking about Mahama's speech, so let's concentrate on that.
Fair enough.
Let's concentrate. If you want to talk about BAWUMIA,
fair enough. You are right. You are right. Yeah.
So, they've compromised their position on Galamsey. So, and I like the fact, say, he didn't say anything about it. At least he's being honest. He's got a conscience.
Bibo, 1 second. You know, mommy. Joe, what do you mean,
Yeah, Mansa Musa, yeah.
Yo, you're streaming it live on YouTube and Facebook. And he said, maybe our light to why it's better send Kaibe who in him. And I like hey, nice because once I hear stream with you, say me stream one can family, but me stream no, it can be better, Okay, YK Yanko.
Yeah, so I like the fact that he has a conscience. At least I admire that in people. That on himself, or can't be different Galamsey one. It will honor for because of the position he's expressed in 2020. So it shows they cannot come and pretend as if they want to fight Galamsey. So that's a big problem for us. That we are recycling political leaders who have tainted themselves so much that the pertinent concerns of the country, they don't have the conscience and moral aptitude. So they even have a conviction to do anything about it, especially Galamsey with the example. So we are in a very, very precarious
situation. Let me ask you there.
I
mean, it's good to point out, say, that's how you feel and that's how you think the reasons why he didn't mention it. Fine. Yeah. Are you really saying that should they come, they will do worse than what is happening, that their leadership, like say their chairman in Kumasi and the rest, will be, high flying in gold mining, whether it's Galamsey Liga or, just attacking for a green forest and the rest and the rest. Are you really sure that the NDC will allow itself to do the same?
Well, and the thing is, when politicians promise they are going to do something, they don't promise simple, they can't do anything about it. How much more the things that they don't even promise? So I'm basing this on historical antecedents. And of course, in the past, and they say they come into power, they do what they promise, they find it difficult to go by the script. So what they don't promise, then they don't owe you anything to do anything about it.
Fair enough. So, I think he made his point clear, sir. They are not going to do that slogan, big time, promise this and that. He made, but before I may call a Joe, so least, let me say that we are not talking only about, we are talking, previous Mahama and BAWUMIA. The challenges, or my argument is that do we think BAWUMIA as president will be any better, comparatively to what he's doing now? Can he perform any miracle, anything different from what he's doing now?
Is that question for me?
Not yet. Joe, now Mimbusa Joe. So, Mahama speech to TUC in Wetiebi, and now what
Yeah, I think I listened to the whole thing. Yeah,
brilliant. And what did you find out? What did you like or didn't like, or what impressed you or what disappointed you?
Yeah, first of all, let me say a very good evening to you and your producers, and a very good evening to Common Purpose Alliance. First of all, let me start on this note. Look, respectfully, I disagree with my good uncle on the statement that John Mahama didn't talk about Galamsey and all that. And you see, at one point, he is saying John Mahama didn't talk about Galamsey, but then he is also at another point disbelieving that John Mahama can even, do anything about Galamsey. You see, if the person has not made any statement on the issue, it doesn't mean he is not going to have any impact on that kind of issue. All we have to do is to wait. The TUC program was a limited kind of time thing. So there was no way you can put out every policy at that moment. And so it is only important we all wait. We just become patient and wait. Because if anything, we all have to rather hold the government in check rather than everybody holding John Mahama as if he is the one taking our taxes. We need to have patience. And now back to your question. I listened to the program, and I think to everyone, to the MPP and every naysayer who is saying NDC doesn't have solutions, they haven't brought policies, I think they had certain things. Like my good uncle was saying, look, Mansa Musa, me alone, and I think you would even agree with me, that one of the things we have all been crying about has been the issue of this ex gratia thing. John Mahama stated categorically, and you see, one thing we all refuse to understand, that statement John Mahama put out there is also trying to instill patriotism into Ghanaians, because he made it emphatic that, look, before you become a minister in his government, you need to accept that you are not going to take ex gratia. And so if you are not patriotic enough to believe that you want to serve your country and that your country doesn't have to save you, you would not accept it, because you would probably want to take your ex gratia. But John Mahama says you need to be patriotic and say that I have been given the opportunity by my country to serve. And so for that matter, the ex gratia, I'm not taking it. Before you could be appointed a minister, he is instilling patriotism into all of us, that it is not everything that the country has to pay you for. Sometimes we need to be a bit, how do I call it, selfless and kind of, do our little bit in promoting our motherland.
Okay, my producer is saying we can add another 10 minutes. So listen, because of time factor. So I will go to YK for the 24/7 thing. But before I go, let me ask you that maybe the reason why he was careful not to mention Galamsey is that Galamsey issue, if you don't get the wording correct, it can simply mean not job creation, but rather job reduction. If you understand, if you get it right and bring all the caveats, it is good. That is going to create employment. But if you get it wrong, the wording wrong, it means people standing outside say, "Hey, Obegui Ejuma," and you see, before I let you speak, the Galamsey that Mahama and his people previously want to tackle, I think for me, where I'm coming from, I can see that the kingpins will not have a free day like they have it. What I mean, the kingpins, like party officials actually gaining big money. Then the Nkwala Zongo boys, they carry all of them and put them in prison. I think that will be the difference. But I'm asking you before I go to IK that don't you think they were very careful with the wording so that people might not misconstrue anything this time around? Joe.
Yeah, for me, Mansa Musa, your question is neither here nor there. For me, all I'm saying is that we need to wait, because the party hasn't brought out a full manifesto, a full policy on this. And so if I kind of preempt, probably I might be, excuse my language, I might be ejaculating too fast, and that is
I
not
don't
good.
like such words on my show. You can say somebody is incompetent. You can say somebody is incompetent. He's a criminal. He doesn't got any sense. But those kind of your friend is saying, ejaculation and all those nonsense.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem. Go ahead.
Mansa Musa, on the other hand, my good uncle was talking about where we don't have the foundation for the 24-hour economy. And I think it was proper that you asked him, what are the foundations that we need?
Exactly where I was going to go. So if you have started already, then Mr. YK, elaborate for us. You are talking about lack of the foundation upon which to even start the 24/7 economic program.
On my personal,
No. Before you bring your personal, I need to ask him because he started it.
No. You let me finish so that he can have the time because you are saying your time and all that.
Okay.
On my personal view with this Galamsey thing, Mansa Musa. On my personal view, this Galamsey thing, we need to look at it critically because I am from a Galamsey town, and in fact, I have done Galamsey before. When people stay in Accra, Kumasi, and they haven't seen this Galamsey issue, and we think everybody can talk about it because they are seeing water bodies being destroyed. Yes, I understand water bodies are being destroyed. We shouldn't entertain it. But the point is, if you go to my area in the western region, Bogosu, Pristia, this Galamsey is employing over 40,000 people. You understand? As a government, that is
so. Let's get it right here. Look, I don't want to send a message out that we are trying to legitimize Galamsey. The point is, mining, legal mining, small-scale mining, whatever, the regulated mining is employing over 40,000. That one, if you say, I will agree. But when you say Galamsey, that means we are trying to legitimize wrongdoing.
Yes. If you allow, it is not regulated mining. It is Galamsey, illegal.
Okay.
But the point is that it is not just because we have seen water bodies being destroyed, which I think we all should condemn, which I condemn. And that all of a sudden we all jump on that bandwagon and say that cancel Galamsey, make it illegal, prosecute them. We need to look at ways where we could kind of train these guys, and even if they have to do this Galamsey, we need to regulate them. And
I think for me, look, people are being mischievous, but I think 2020 that's what Mahama meant. But listen, let's move on. YK. Give us the conditions or the foundations we're talking about for the 24/7 thing.
First of all, let me briefly say something about the Galamsey issue. I mean, I find it very, very worrying that anybody will give any excuse for Galamsey that destroys our forests and water bodies. There's no excuse for that. Even if 100,000 people, 1 million people
NFM Radio
are being employed doing illegal mining, it has to be stopped.
I agree. I'm with you on that.
So I don't want to hear any excuses about that. It's destroying the future of the next generation.
You see, this gentleman who spoke, who spoke, his authorities, his governors, his NDC people, Mahama has come to elaborate on Big Push, which is about construction, pouring of more concrete. So instead of people using the excavators to go and dig, those excavators will be working on construction sites. So this is where maybe the argument should be coming from. Instead of trying to legitimize the fact that...
You see, this is what I'm saying. We need to have, when we talk about the Galamsey, we need to have technical people on the field to explain.
Yes.
It is the Galamsey.
But do you agree that it is a menace and that it needs to be stopped? Not mine, but that Galamsey.
That is why I use myself as an example.
Yes.
In the 90s, when my uncles and all that were doing Galamsey, Nobody destroyed water bodies. In the 90s, did you hear anybody destroy water bodies? So we need to look at
it is being destroyed, so no excuse. Anyway, because of this,
No, I mean, this our young gentleman, I think he's going around in circles. We need to look at the wedding we choose.
Sure.
Not
exactly. It needs to be stopped. Yes.
I listened to him. Let me say something to him. We said Galamsey that is destroying our water bodies and forests.
Everything.
There is no excuse for it.
Exactly.
Period.
Yeah, period. Yes.
The modalities I'm saying is, are we asking what is 24-hour economy? What does it even mean? 24-hour economy, from my understanding, is that productivity will be 24/7, right?
Yes.
Good. So if productivity will be 24/7, most of them will be based on factories.
Yes.
Okay? Good. Where are the factories? Number one, where are the factories? Are they state-owned enterprises or private factories we are talking about here? We don't have the foundation for state, what we call strategic state-owned industries.
Yes.
That you are going to say along the value chain, no, everything will be 24/7. Then we are talking. We don't have it. It's not there. You can't force a private person now or on your 24/7 and say they should do 24/7 because you want to do 24/7 economy. It doesn't work that way. So the practicality of it, it is not feasible. That is my position. So if we actually had the state enterprises running, and you are saying, no, we need to ramp them up, revitalize them to be 24/7, to create a 24/7 economy, then we know the foundation is there. So basically, the foundation is not even there. We don't have the public transport for 24/7 economy as well.
So you are saying the foundation is not there. So is it wrong for someone to suggest even this particular program that I want this to start? Is it wrong? I don't get it.
No, but it's just like building castles in the air. It's just like you don't have the foundation and you said, I'm going to build a castle.
Okay, I don't want to debate you on that because we are three. What do you make of it, Mr. What do you call it, Joe?
Yeah, I believe that they say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step.
Hey, Joe, are you a magician? The same thing in my head, though. the same thing I was going to. My first statement is that every journey will have to start with the first step. Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
So the fact that John Mahama is proposing a 24-hour economy and my good uncle is saying the foundations aren't there doesn't mean we shouldn't start. Yes, he can start, even if he starts with one industry and then 2 years, 3 years, it's a process. This country industrialized. It didn't take 1 year. It didn't even take 10 years. It took a whole bunch of years. And so we have to start from somewhere. The more that we kind of disbelieve ourselves, the more that we question certain things, it's one of the things that is making us lag behind all the time. It's a policy. Yes, it is important we ask questions about the policy, how we're going to go about it and all that. That is, it's everyone's right to do that. And as we want to build a country, it is important we do that. But that is not to say that because there is something not available, we should just sit down there until 10,000 years before, until we set up every industry everywhere. Look, John Mahama made an example of let me come in. You are giving him too much time to look.
I mean, when we want to talk about some of these things, we have to be very practical. The fact say, I'm saying, you don't have a foundation of something, and you said I should believe that you are going to do it. So why don't you even think about putting the foundation in place? Why don't you say, when I come, I'm going to this sector and build a complete strategic industry there.
But are you also telling me there is no factory at all? There is no industry at all in Ghana?
Give me one state-owned enterprise, industrialized state-owned enterprise.
This is where I have to come in. Hang on a second. Hang on. This is where I have to come in. This is where I have to come in.
Mining companies.
No. Hang on. So, forget about the mining company. This is where I have to come in. I have experience with what we call 24/7 economics in Ghana, not here, in Ghana. In my late 70s, when a young man, after technical school, I went to Accra Technical Training Center. And when, after the program is built on a Canadian system, after 1 year, you have to go do practicals. So I was lucky, someone who was working near the place, a Ghanaian Taxi Daily Graphic, that is an industrial area.
You are talking too much. You are even
I'll give you an example.
Hold on.
You see, I've allowed you guys to talk, and I'm saying, I'm giving you a practical example.
You are going around in circles.
Okay, I'll be short. Listen,
I was born and bred in the Valco story.
Fair enough. Listen, I'll give you the chance to respond to what I'm saying. Listen, I will give you the chance.
Economy is not a new thing.
Listen, very good. I'm happy you say it's not a new thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Very good. So I went to work in this factory making garments as a technician's assistant, or let's say apprentice. You go night. The factory was working day and night. We, the people who went night, we got a bit of allowance here and there. And most of the factories, including the newspapers, Times and Daily Graphic and all those things, most of the factories were working the factory for the phone, because those days, the thing is, people were not importing too much. So the garment factory, for instance, was making the garment for either GTP, Dumas, or Akosombo. They were making for them. So, the circulation and the distribution was there. Now, I totally agree that we need to actually have a foundation, but it's not completely non-existent. The foundation is not completely absent. There are factories, private ones, that the government can give them incentives. And look, you are employing 500 people during the day. If you can bring it to about 700, there are 200 additional people night for next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. No tax deductions for them, so that they can get work to do. And you open, people will sit down, open avenue for the distribution of whatever you are producing. But it can be done, YK. It can be done. Let me ask you, YK. Hang on. YK, let me ask you, is it that it's because Mahama is proposing it? Or is it, if anyone at all had proposed, still you are going to poo-poo it or rubbish it? Hello, YK, are you there? Joe, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so that means he has got a problem.
If not for anything, you see, he is talking about foundation, and I think it is totally wrong to believe that there are no foundations or stuff like that. Because, like I was saying, we have a fully state-owned company in my own town, in my own constituency, called the Sankofa, Pristia Sankofa Gold. It's a fully owned one.
Yes.
No white man interference or no shareholding kind of thing. The company, because of lack of resources and all that, they are running on a just one shift basis. Now, if Mahama should come and invest into that company, they can run this 24-hour economy thing that he's talking about. So we can have people going day, afternoon, and evening. So the modalities
also,
are the things are
before he comes so that we can close. Joe, the point is it's not only about the government outfit. 24-hour economies depend on the state, the state of your security. When people are feeling safe in town, in my day, when we had Salif Amankwa at the circle, look, the number of restaurants, cinemas, beer bars, that weekends and getting to weekends, bands playing, the bars, that circle alone, we had Apollo, Silver Cup, we had Orion Cinema, we had Club Tabela, we had Eleganza, scattered. So there was nightlife already. People were doing, if you go to Osu, people were doing both day and night marketing. There they were selling their fish, and tomatoes and all those kind of things. In the night, they'll make banku and sell grilled fish with it.
Yeah,
it is night. Exactly, night. And it gives you almost 24/7 sort of economy. If you improve on it, it is doable. I don't see how anybody can have problem with this suggestion. I don't see it.
Yeah. And I think Mahama himself admitted that, like he's saying, the foundation he was talking about, like he rightly pointed out, security. He even gave an example of this fuel attendants and all that.
Yes.
At first, they used to run this, but because they were attacked by armed robbers.
Yes.
So what we need to do as foundation is to provide them with security.
Yes.
And that thing can go on. And so for me, I feel...
Look, I will tell you something. Look, in my day, we had some, not everywhere, but filling station near 37, some filling stations are also, some places, they allow you to fill your car and go and pay like we are doing here. Because those days, even the thought of armed robbery, sir, you say we're reforming there, but they're thinking of armed robbery, but what? Who dare you? You see, so when the safety, the security is there for people, you guarantee all this, it won't happen in a day. So within 3 months, no, you got to move with it. And the TUC, they have actually accepted it. They know that if it can be done, it will help a lot. I don't see why anybody will argue with this, unless people who want BAWUMIA to come.
Probably, I wouldn't want to believe my good uncle is arguing with it. Probably, it is his right to kind of question as to how this thing can be done.
Sure,
it's okay, but then we need to be cautious in trying to kind of demonize everything and try to say, oh, it can't be done for us. We can't do it. We can't do that. Attitude is what we need to stop, because this is the reason why politicians have been left unaccounted for. They don't account for anything, because we feel, because the manifesto, they don't go by it and all that, and then we leave them just like that, and they have it a free field day. You understand? So I think, in as much as we have the right to question, we also have to have the belief, because this is a man, he has done it before, and let us not just take this man as an ordinary man like BAWUMIA or any. This is a man who has been vice president, who has been president, who has gone home to sit down at home for, let's say, 8 years. He has realized certain things. He has realized his mistakes. He has realized a whole lot of things. And so if he's promising us certain things, we've already seen glimpses of what he can do. We've seen the UGMC, we've seen the Terminal 3, we've seen the Rich Hospital, we've seen the segregation housing and all that. You understand? So we should not just all of a sudden admonish and just say that, oh, it can't be done, it's a promise as usual. But Mansa Musa, the most important thing right now we need to, I've heard some commentaries of people saying, oh, Mahama can't do anything. Mahama is only becoming popular because Akufo-Addo has failed. But the question I want to ask those people is that, what did the Akufo-Addo campaign on in 2016? It is because Ghanaians were lied to and said Mahama didn't do anything, Mahama has failed and all that. And that is why they voted for Akufo-Addo. So it is only proper that today, having compared the two, because all of them has had a chance, they have all had the chance to govern our country. We now have to do a proper comparative analysis.
Did you bring me here to listen to NDC for making?
I came to you. I mentioned your name several times. You didn't respond.
No, I wasn't around. I just.
So why are you now blaming me? If you left,
I've been listening to him going on and on, praising Mahama as if.
No. Because me bowed 4 times.
Because Orantina not too much.
Four times.
No problem. No problem. Number one, don't say they lie to Ghanaians, and you see, this is why NDC, no let's say campaign we are, you will lose. You are not even admitting the mistakes Mahama did in government. You are pretending as if say Ghanaians were lied to. That is why you also go from saying, oh God, let me take defeat so that Ghanaians will go through hardship and they will know something. Seriously, the people voted against you because things were hard. It's a fact. The economy was growing at less than 2%. These are data that is there. We went to the IMF. We don't go to the IMF if the economy is running well. After getting oil, Mahama came, we went to IMF. And you are telling me you are running the economy well. The man was doing well. Are you for real? Things are bad now. But it wasn't rosy when Mahama was in government. So if you people humble yourself and admit, say, there were mistakes made under Mahama's government, and we have learned our lesson, and we've seen ABCD, these are our mistakes. So we've corrected them. So Ghanaians should give us another chance. Then you're talking. Don't say they were lied to. You think the independent-minded voters, they are stupid, they are naive? The same thing I tell the MPP for no. Say, Ekufuado has failed. There's no way BAWUMIA can really win 2024 if it doesn't admit the mistakes and the failures that Ekufuado has committed. We need to raise the bar of politics in Ghana. We shouldn't allow politicians to think that,
that is a good point you are making. So, why do you prefer BAWUMIA over Mahama?
But I think I...
Let me complete.
No. I've asked him a question.
I want to correct something.
No. I'll come to you. Let me regulate this conversation.
Let me finish. Maybe one thing you have to understand is say, we cannot agree on everything. When you are talking, there are a lot of things you say, I don't really agree with you, but I just keep quiet. I come and make my point. So don't come and say you are coming to correct me. The argument you are making...
did I say I'll correct you?
No, not you, him.
Okay, forget about... Listen, on them comment in the fucking chain, me na me busa questions.
Let me go on, because we don't have time, Marika, so let me go on. So what I'm saying is that... You know, I mean, I don't know if you want me to repeat it on air. That's why you are asking me. The reason why I prefer BAWUMIA to Mahama is very simple. It's based on principles and it's based on my convictions for politics. I'm saying, say, Obi president. You may disagree with me. Obi president, and the people vote against the person in office. I don't think, say, the person should hold on and hold his party in captive and try and become president again. I know no party another person the chance to move the party forward. That is how democracy evolves, especially for a party that is called progressive. And NDC should be a progressive party. And one person is holding on until he finishes and becomes back again. And then you people are just lauding him as if he's the only sensible person who can lead the NDC. This is why it makes some people very angry. Mahama Nababe, they asked legitimate questions. He was there. We saw things weren't very good. Kufuor government. It's worse, but Mahama obeyed them.
Because of Mahama, you think for him to come is better BAWUMIA and his people stay in office?
You see, when you say BAWUMIA and his people, it's better somebody that I think say he hasn't been president before is given the chance. We don't know how that person is going to perform. That's how politics is. You take a chance. You hope that the person, but the fact that the problem with Mahama said, people who voted against him 2016 and 2020 they know the reason why they voted against him because they've seen him as a president before and they haven't forgotten. Look, Facebook are making an way. 100 people that I've really talked to in the last week, most of them tell me, said, no, I don't want Mahama to come again. I'm telling you, about 80% of them tell me, say, Mahama,
before I go to Joe, I've spoken and written to more than 100 people, and I'm telling you that they are saying that banking, even people who did who are doing lottery. Let's respect everybody. Let's respect. Look, your point is here. Listen. They are saying that BAWUMIA and the Kufuor has destroyed their jobs. And then say, and Crawford say, Mahama, fine. They should vote for people they like.
I think, you listen to me for just a second. No, because I think you've created an impression here, which is very wrong. Because, look, if we are comparing Mahama and Akufo-Addo BAWUMIA, they were holding a party in captive. And you can make say about BAWUMIA Akufo-Addo. It was since 2007. Since 2007, they've held their party since that time. Are you getting it? Mahama wasn't a leader in 2007. And so, and it is never true that Mahama has held a party in captive. Say, I think say if it's not him, there will be nobody. Anything America say, now Akufo-Addo has come, Mahama has been. We've seen BAWUMIA as vice president. Mahama has also been. So we can even do that comparative analysis. Say, Yemfa even Mahama in 2009 to 2012 as vice president to BAWUMIA 8 years. Now you proper comparative analysis. But to say Mahama has been. Look, today under BAWUMIA, look at how many people have died with the men's gold saga. Today, under BAWUMIA, look at how many pensioners are dying. And so, I admitted in the first place that John Mahama has been Wakotinefie for 8 years. He has learned his lessons. Why analysis? When we say, I went wrong here, I will not be here to say that John Mahama was a saint. Okay.
Mommy, for last word in the YK. Yeah. Mami pusa question. Mahama in the speech, what single one, just single item, and even if you don't want him to come out, what single item actually did impress you, or you think it's a good thing to do or to propose? Which one?
The S-Crusher.
All right. That's a simple question. We can go home now.
No, hold on. There's not that straightforward. Hold on, Mansabusa. Don't do that to me. You see, I asked you the same question, and you flat out told me something that I was not impressed. You remember that day? Yeah. But me, I'm a very.
No. What did you ask me?
I told you, say, give me one thing that Mahama did wrong that you want him to correct. Who say one year be wrong? You remember on our platform?
Yes, I did. Yes. That is me.
You did. Okay, hold on.
So that doesn't mean you should also say the same, innit?
Oh, no. I'm just reminding you that is the difference between you and me.
Fine. Good. Good. Let's say you are more objective. No problem.
Let me finish.
Okay.
I saw the S-Gracia, but once again, the S-Gracia is a very complicated thing. Mm-hmm. What I want to hear Mahama saying is, Ono as president, Ono sono official, is he going to cancel the S-Gracia now?
He has said it. He has said it.
No, hold on. He didn't say that.
Come on. How so? No, but catch up. We say, Mama, by jig S-Gracia, and I'm the magic. As a man, okay. And can you crop a problem? The man said he's going to cancel it for himself. Even people are accusing him, sir, just because on why rich in it, or no, he wouldn't. It won't affect him. People are accusing him of that.
Let me complete. You see, that's what I'm saying. It's a very complicated thing.
Yes.
Article 71 office holders, they retire on their salary.
Okay.
People consider that as extra. So what are you going to put in place for that?
Well, first and foremost, on cover pen and paper, it will go to Parliament, and also only appoint political appointees. Let's forget about the civil servants and the principal secretaries and the rest. If government will have to restructure something, some pensioner, fine. But also appointee as it is now, and he used that word as it is now.
Well. Once again, what is your problem? Once again, it's just a headline.
Headline grabbing comments. Very good.
Exactly. It's just so I want to see the details.
So far, what has BAWUMIA said that makes you so happy?
Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear.
BAWUMIA, thank you. We wanted that. This man knows the way I think. So
toilet. Don't worry.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Me na me some question. I don't know how. Joe, behave. Na sa uko toilet, we are ubejare nyesa.
Uko toilet, you ubejare. You need to toilet in back house.
Anyway,
what I'm saying.
Why? No, this is a serious question. Uko toilet, you are ubejare.
Oh, no, it's not a serious question.
That means BAWUMIA is right, isn't it? Okay, what has BAWUMIA inspired you of? I mean, what has he done and now said he was going to do that inspires you?
I'm very much in line with a technology-driven development because that's the industry I'm in.
Yes.
And I've said it several times. I know what is done for the UK economy, public, private sector in the last 25 years. So that is the sort of policies that I think anybody who wants to make that happen, I'm inclined to be more drawn to their kind of vision for Ghana.
Look, we are not going to borrow anywhere. We have the money here. Will you still believe him? Accept it?
Yeah, because the things that they needed to do and generate the money, they stopped some of the things. For instance, when he said, we are going to tow the roads, right, and get the revenue, they stopped the road goods and they removed them, which was very silly.
It was silly. They messed up there. What about when if he says that they are not going to tax people, from taxation to production? Will you believe that? Or will you take that one?
As the Conservative Party, they are always known for reduced taxes.
So I'm asking you, will you believe him when he comes back to say the same thing again?
Well, I'll believe him because he was against a lot of the taxes that were imposed. And one of the taxes that came out that we all heard, fortunately, was the e-levy one. That he was interviewed and he said he's completely against it. That they should.
That toll booth, it was done roughly. I mean, completely against any proper thought. Which we all agree. Yeah. The same way, BAWUMIA also conducted benchmark reduction, that benchmark tax, within 3, 4, 5, 6 months, because he also saw he done some very bad mistake. You remember that benchmark? Yeah. They reduce it for political purposes, just for politics. And who said, hey, the guy, listen, do you really trust BAWUMIA?
Yeah, people make mistakes.
Okay.
I mean,
so what about Mahama?
No, this is what I said, sir. accepting mistakes you've made and not saying
people make mistakes. So BAWUMIA makes mistakes. No,
I didn't say that.
Okay, so people make mistakes. We should give everybody a chance. Should we give an equal chance to everybody? For making mistakes. Say BAWUMIA mistake. Both of them, no, we should give them equal chance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that defeats your argument. Say, I didn't know so Sam Banner because of his mistakes. And you say, no happiness, you say, Mahama so much radio bet me. Yes, sir.
No, that's not what I said. So,
I'm going to say,
let me say something.
Oh, dear.
I'm saying, sir, in principle, no, I wouldn't want Mahama to become president again because it will set bad precedents.
They said this is the first time everywhere in this world. This is not the first time.
Forget about everywhere in this world. I don't subscribe to everywhere in this world.
No, this is politics. It's not illegal. No. It's not alien. It's not unique. It's not unique.
It's politics.
Politics. People go and come. Berlusconi, Brazil president, Argentina president, a whole places. They go and come. And then to the Mahama panel, just because I'm friend of Mahama.
No. You can't because of that.
Yes, listen, gentlemen, we'll talk again. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Joe, bye-bye.
Okay, that's so.
NFM Radio.
Right, everyone, all of you, thank you very, very, very much for joining. Tomorrow afternoon, 12 p.m., Vivi Nash will be here. So stay tuned, don't miss it at all. Vivi Nash on any crew, no, have a good night. Cheers, bye-bye.